For a brief second before I started the premiere of You and I Are Polar Opposites Season 2, a scary thought entered my mind. What if this isn't as good as I want it to be? I loved the first season, but what if I'm wearing some giant rose-colored glasses and don't realize it? What if the magic is just gone? And then I hit the play button, smiled stupidly for 24 minutes that felt like just 5, and was like, oh yeah, this is the best. The biggest compliment I can give to this first episode is that it felt like a seamless continuation of where season 1 left off. Probably because it was a seamless continuation production-wise, considering that the 2 seasons are releasing 3 months apart. But beyond that practical reality, there weren't any recaps or reintroductions made in this premiere. No friction that made it feel like anything other than the next things that happened in Tani, Suzuki, and all of these friends' lives. Lucky for us, they're just as charming and lovable as they were when we last left them. So while one episode maybe isn't enough for a full video essay breakdown, join me as I walk down a couple things that really jumped out at me in this season's start. Specifically, how this series manages to accept different viewpoints and personalities without ever ascribing to right and wrong, and why its grasp on relatability is still its biggest asset in making refreshing romance. Early on, the premise focuses in on Azuma. She's in a period of transition in her life right now. Towards the end of the last season, her friends gave her a push to stop letting people walk over her, and to think more actively about how and why she feels what she does. With this mindset, she is enjoying life a lot more, but it also has some unexpected sticking points. Azuma doesn't like it when people lead with uncertainty or anxiety, and she is very receptive to playful energy, even when it's at her expense. What I love about this show is how it presents the facts and then lets its characters each weigh in on them based on who we already know them to be. Suzuki sees this as a problem, but tries to deduce why Azuma feels the way that she does, and has examples to back it up. She's also a bit idealistic like she always is, and her advice doesn't quite line up with how she approached Tani. And later, when Taira bails on walking home with Azuma, it's a completely different kind of support he's offering her. He understands her without words needing to be exchanged, is there for her instead of offering up a psychoanalysis and solutions. Both situations are about helping Azuma, but it never drifts too far into prescriptive territory. It's friendship like you'd see in real life, accepting that everyone has different ways of being happy and fulfilled. All of these characters are loving and supportive in this anime, but all in their own special ways. It's why the broader messages land so well, and why it's so easy to see parts of yourself in any given nook or cranny of this story. The other half of this premiere is focused on our main couple, Tani and Suzuki. It opens with an unambiguous declaration. Suzuki may be in a relationship already, but that doesn't mean she's done with love. It honestly feels like a little bit of meta commentary on how often in romance anime, when the main couple gets together, they kind of fade into the background so the side couples can have the spotlight. Not here though, Suzuki is on the hunt. With their Christmas Eve date, we get just as much sweet, bumbling young love as you'd expect. But what they really just nail, as they've done plenty of times before, is the relatability factor. There's heartwarming romance in the sense that a story can be well crafted and engaging. And then there's the nostalgic delight of watching Tani and Suzuki accidentally have their first kiss, and then drift through the rest of the night wondering if that actually counted. It's not that we've all had that exact scenario happen in our lives. It's the potently, painfully familiar feelings of curiosity and excitement and anxiety that accompanied all of our first passes with romance. The more I think about it, the more I think Polar Opposite's ability to create awkward romance situations that feel sweet and relatable, while crucially never drifting into cringe territory, is its actual defining trait, the source of its magic, as it were. Worrying about what you ate before a kiss, hitting your teeth together. It's so perfect and feels woefully underrepresented in the genre now that I've seen it here. This is a show about youth, the springtime of your life, and its willingness to show all facets of that gemstone is what makes it so special. You and I Are Polar Opposites Season 2 is off to a ripper start. I don't know why I expected anything else, but jumping into a sequel and immediately realizing that everything is just as great as you left it is an unmatched experience. I know in weeks to come we'll have plenty to talk about as Taira and Azuma's relationship presumably heads into the spotlight. But for now, I just wanted to gush about how good it is to be back, and how this anime keeps expanding on its encyclopedia of perfect characters and relationships. Shows like this don't come along that often. I'm doing my best to appreciate it as much as it deserves. And that ends today's episode of Love and Anime. If you enjoyed the video and like video essays about romance, anime, and romance anime, liking and subscribing helps a ton, as does hitting the hype button on the mobile app. I'm Slam Anime, and I'll see you next time.